What's up, worldies? How we doing today? Hope you're enjoying everything that you got going on. I myself have been enjoying the past week, making videos for you guys, and a couple of TikToks, a couple of Instagram reels. It's been interesting. Crazy things going on in South America, and some nuts games in the Euros too. Speaking of which, today we're gonna talk the knockout stages. So I gave you guys some predictions for the last round. Some of them were good. Some of them weren't. I may or may not have seen Group E and Group F happening. P.S. I didn't. I told you guys that Robert Lewandowski was gonna get a hat trick. I may or may not have even put money on that. I was this close. This close. Instead, Sweden decided they were gonna win the game in the last minute. They spent 90 minutes being in first place in the group, then in second place in the group, then being in third place in the group, and second place in the group, and then they decided right at the death they were gonna win the whole damn thing. On the flip side of Group E, Spain decided they were going to exist. Thanks, Martin Dubravka. Yes, kids, when your goalkeeper punches the ball into his own net, you don't have a great chance of winning the game. One goal turned into 5, and the next thing you know, Spain's off celebrating like they've actually done something, like it's 2010 again. And if that wasn't enough, later on in Group F, Hungary decided they were gonna make Germany work for it. And France and Portugal, well, neither of them wanted it. 2-2 draws in both games saw all three of the bigwigs going through, and Hungary kind of sitting there with their head in their hands going, damn, we almost had it. Most of the other games finished pretty on par with how I thought they were gonna go. Looking at you, Ukraine. I picked them to beat Austria 2-1. That did not happen. And so now we have our round of 16 matchups set, and it's gonna be an interesting set of matches moving forward. On Saturday, Wales takes on the tournament darlings in Denmark. Now, after Christian Eriksen collapsed in the first game, everybody's been cheering for the Danes, and it looked like everybody's favorite fairy tale was gonna sink after hitting the Russian iceberg. Lucky for fans around the world, 2 Danish wonder goals led them to a 4-1 victory and put them in the round of 16 against a Welsh side that's been kind of underwhelming. Had they played in almost any other group, more than likely they wouldn't be in the tournament. So it wouldn't surprise me to see the Danes go through here. I'm gonna take Denmark 2-0. The second match of Saturday is gonna be Italy against the Austrians. Now, they might have pulled a rabbit out of the hat getting out of the group for the first time, but Austria is not gonna be able to knock off Italy. In fact, it won't even be close. The Italian attack is just too much for the Austrians, and I see them going through 4-1. For Sunday's matches, you've got the dark horse of the tournament, Netherlands, taking on the Czech Republic. And then turning around in the afternoon, you've got Belgium taking on Portugal. Both of these games I see going to extra time, but they're gonna have quite different results and how they get finished. The Czech Republic will probably find a wonder goal somewhere, somehow, a la Hungary. And I wouldn't be surprised if it takes the Dutch 80 to 90 minutes to break them down and finally tie the match. And then by the time we get to extra time, they're gonna have nothing left in the tank to try to break down the Czech Republic once again. This one's going to penalties, folks. That's just how it's gonna be. However, expect the Dutch talent to be able to bring them through to the next round, and I'm gonna take the Dutch in penalties 5-3 over the Czech Republic. The heavyweight matchup of that afternoon is gonna be Belgium and Portugal, and this one's gonna be a slugfest. Expect a lot of fouls, expect maybe a red card or 2, and then at the end of 90 minutes, it's gonna be all square at 1. Considering the Portuguese defense looks more like Swiss cheese, the Belgians are gonna finally get the breakthrough they need, and Lukaku's gonna get a brace if he manages to last into the extra time period. After 120 minutes, I'm looking at Belgium 3, Portugal 1, and the Belgians are gonna move on to take on Italy. Monday's matchup between Croatia and Spain is what we were supposed to get in the 2018 World Cup, until Russia had better ideas and decided Spain didn't deserve to keep going through. Much to the chagrin of every person whose name ends in IC, the Croatians aren't gonna be a repeat this time against the Spanish. As much as I don't like the Spanish and I don't think that they're good this year, Croatia just doesn't have the capabilities of keeping up with them. Luka Modric doesn't have the magic to save the Croatians this time and send them on a miracle run like they did in the World Cup. Spain's gonna control the game for the entire 90 minutes, and they're gonna somehow, some way, probably with a penalty, pull out a 2-1 win. France made it through the group stage, but honestly, just barely. It wasn't like they did anything special to win. They put in a paltry performance against Germany. They almost got knocked off by Hungary, and then it took Karim Benzema saving their skins to actually get a draw with Portugal, who's been hit or miss the entire tournament. I don't see the Swiss putting up much of a fight. I see the French holding possession for a lot of this game, but it's not going to be the game to watch, especially if you're an American who thinks soccer is boring. This is going to be boring. Give me France 2-0, probably from a penalty and a late goal to secure the deal. Finally, we get to Tuesday's matches, which are potentially, especially among the English-speaking crowds, going to be the biggest matchups of the tournament. England take on Germany at Wembley Stadium in London, and they're going to have at least 60,000 fans in the stadium as long as everything stays on the up and up concerning COVID. The English and the Germans have a heated history, especially in European and World Cup competition. Whenever they face off against each other, it's a knockdown, drag-out fight. And it's ensured that there's going to be yellow cards, probably a coach sent off, and there's going to be some nastiness through this one. Both of these teams are big question marks coming into this game. England have looked lackluster in attack, and they haven't looked like they're the side that everyone picked to win the tournament. Gareth Southgate's choices when it comes to the lineup have also been suspect. He's got a plethora of riches sitting on the bench, and every backroom coach and Monday morning center back is putting in their suggestions of who should play, where, and when. We've already talked about Jadon Sancho sitting on the bench and everyone being upset about it, as well as Jude Bellingham, the other youngster for England. But with the number of talented players that are on that roster, trying to put 11 players on the field while including all that talent, while still leaving yourself substitution opportunities and opportunities for your role players to come in off the bench is rather difficult. As a coach, I don't envy Southgate's position that he has, and honestly, if they lose, this is going to be on him. Is that fair? I don't know, but that's the way that the world of soccer works. It's always the manager's fault. It's never the players. It's never the place they play. It's never the referee. It's never the other team. It's always the guy who's paid the big bucks. On the flip side, you've got the German. You know Germany. You know they're good at soccer. You know they won a World Cup a few years ago. But how much do you really know? Their head coach, Jogi Löw, infamous booger eater extraordinaire, is stepping down after the Germans exit the tournament. No matter what happened. The German Federation feels it's time for him to move on. He feels it's time for him to move on. And honestly, they're both right. The Germans were confusing all throughout the group stage. They lost 1-0 to France. Then they slaughtered Portugal. And then they barely tied Hungary at the end of the match to actually make it through the group stage. They were 15 minutes away from this competition being over for them until Leon Goretzka decided he was going to get involved in the proceeding. And credit to John Musiala, who came on and actually gave life to the Germans, unlike Leroy Sané, who sat on the right wing for 90 minutes and did absolutely all. Yeah, I said it. Neither of these teams look like they want to win. Neither of these teams look like they know how to win well. And neither of these teams right now are worthy of being crowned European champions. However, they play each other, and one of them's got to go through. This match has the potential to finish 0-0 and go to extra time and probably penalties. But this match also has the potential for some slip-ups, some screw-ups, and some open space moving forward. If you don't watch soccer because you think it's boring and because there's no action, watch this game. It's gonna be back and forth, it's gonna be helter-skelter, and there's a couple goals involved in the 90. I'm gonna take England, my pick to win Euro 2020 as it stands, 2-1 over Germany in this one. So let's take an Eastern European country, then let's take a Scandinavian country, and let's send them to Glasgow and let them duke it out. That's what's happening here when Sweden takes on Ukraine in the last round of 16 matchup. They're going to be played in Scotland. It's going to be rainy. It's going to be nasty. That's going to be fun. I think this match could be match of the round. Sweden got unlocked by Poland and Robert Lewandowski in the last game. I think their defense finally has gotten stretched. And then Ukraine is going to have to push for the win. They're lucky to be this far into the tournament, and I think moving forward, they're just going to have to send it if they're going to win. This has all the makings of the 7-goal thriller that everyone looks for and every soccer fan, if you're a neutral, loves. Back the blue and yellow! Wait, they're both blue and yellow. Sweden's taken this one 4-3. but it could easily swing the other way. All I know is Tuesday, I'll be watching. I don't plan on doing another Euros video until next Sunday, and by that time the quarterfinals will be over. So I'm gonna give you picks from what I've got, and hopefully it kind of looks like what I told you it's gonna. France takes on Spain in St. Petersburg, and I cannot imagine a match that I want to watch less. It's going to be a possession battle the entire way through, but no one's actually gonna go forward and do things. There's gonna be a lot of half chances and there's gonna be a lot of posturing, but there's not going to be a lot of attack. Spain's probably going to miss another penalty, as they've already missed 2 this tournament. And then Olivier Giroud is probably going to come on in like the 65th minute, and he's going to score in the 82nd. France is going to win 1-0. It's going to be awful. The second quarterfinals, Belgium taking on Italy. Unlike France and Spain, this one I'll actually enjoy watching. It's going to be tight. It's going to be stressful. I honestly don't know who has the upper hand. Belgium's the #1 ranked team in the world, but Italy's got some good up-and-comers. They've got a squad that in 2 years at the World Cup is going to be exceedingly dangerous. This is almost the end of the golden generation for Belgian football. Kevin De Bruyne, Romelu Lukaku, Dries Mertens, they're all getting up there when it comes to their age. And Euro 2020 and Qatar 2022 is really going to be the last chance they have at cementing their legacy moving forward. This one's going to finish 0-0 after 90, but it's not going to be the boring snooze fest that you expect out of a 0-0 game. There's going to be chances aplenty, lots of near misses, probably an epic save or 2 out of a goalkeeper, and that's before we get to extra time. Belgium's second overtime game in a row isn't going to be enough to see them out of this tournament yet. It's going to go the full 30, it's going to finish 0-0, and then Belgium's experience is going to take them through on penalties 4-1. Can we just take a moment to think about scheduling and stadium usage? When I say the word Baku, what do you think of? Me neither. I have no clue. However, apparently that's a city in Azerbaijan. Did you know that Azerbaijan was a part of the European Union? I sure didn't. But supposedly that's where the Netherlands are going to be taking on Denmark, in Azerbaijan. At this point, it's the end of the road for the Danes. They've performed admirably throughout this tournament, and they've had everyone backing them. And obviously, we all wish Christian Eriksen the best with his health and the rest of his career. They've been a fun fairy tale team to watch and to cheer for and to root on moving forward, but it's just their time. The Dutch are too strong, and they've got a really good squad. It's gonna be enough to see out the Danes and move on to the semifinals. Netherlands 3, Denmark 0. Finally, a game in which the English will find their scoring boots. Sweden's defense has been unlocked for the past 2 games in a row. Robert Lewandowski showed everybody how to score against the Swedes, and then the Ukrainians are going to follow up with a big old hammering, almost snatch it away. I'm going to pin the English to do the same here. Big 3-0 result, getting the win, moving into the semifinals where they're supposed to be. So by this time next week, this is what I expect the matchups to look like. This is our semifinals for Euro 2020. Belgium, France, England, and the Netherlands. It's gonna be a good round of 16 and quarterfinals. I'm excited. Some really good soccer, some great games to watch if you are a fan or if you aren't a fan. There's gonna be action, there's gonna be goals, there's gonna be probably a couple red cards moving forward, and I really can't wait to see how this turns out. Thanks for checking out Too Fat for Footy for another video and another round of predictions here for the Euro 2020. I'm glad to see you guys enjoying the videos, and I'm really appreciative of all the comments and all the love that you're leaving on the page. Also, make sure to check out our TikTok and our Instagram at Too Fat for Footy when you're just sitting there on the couch watching Netflix, scrolling through your phone. Again, if you like the video, go ahead, hit that little subscribe button, the little like button, and turn on your notifications with the little bell. And if you're a hater, if you're a troll, let me know in the comments if you didn't like it. That way I can improve, I can get better, and then hopefully one day you'll come around to the idea that I'm right. Thanks for watching, worldies, and until next time, keep kicking.